Hello everybody, Hugsy Arts here, and I wanted to do this challenge stroke class tutorial on learning to draw from the very beginning. So forget about anatomy just for now, for the moment. Forget about what you think you've heard and what you think you know about the Asaro head and the planes of the face and things like that. Forget all about that. Let's strip it back and let's go back to stickmen. Which is super fun to do, but so important to get in energy and life into your artwork. So this is a series of challenges. We're probably going to do 3 or 4. We will finish on anatomy, but for now we are just going to be concerned with stickmen and capturing what our mind sees, not drawing exactly as things are, but how we instinctively see it in our brain. That's where you portray your energy into your artworks from. So we're going to start with some stickmen, a week of just scribbling out, doodling whatever you see. The old lady crossing the road, some guy sipping his coffee in the coffee shop. I did my example, which was I was watching the rugby match. I just started sketching the rugby players in various positions mid-match. Just take one glance at what you see, memorise it, and go straight down and get it on the paper. If you're using a sketchbook, please don't use pencil or something. This is not about being accurate or drawing skills. This is about just getting ink on the paper and getting an instinctive line work onto that paper, that's where your energy is going to come from. So use just a bic pen, a biro, or a felt tip or a marker. Obviously I'm going to be doing mine on the iPad. Just make sure you don't use again like a pencil, and don't worry about how your lines look. Just get it on the page. My challenge to you is to do this. I'm going to be sharing examples, of course. My challenge to you is to do this every day. I want you to fill 2 pages for the first week, and then we'll start to fill our stick bodies out a little bit more so they look a little bit more human. But of course I'm going to go through how to do a good stick man anyway, which is a good base fundamental. So hope you take part and hope you enjoy it, and let's see some good positive results. Hello everybody. So I got quite an exciting challenge for us all. Do you want to learn to draw from scratch with myself? We'll do it together from the very beginning. Now, a lot of people, when they're learning to draw, especially people, they kind of jump straight in because they're in a rush and they want to learn to draw, and they think the best way to do that is to learn this and that, and they take shortcuts. We all do it. But the thing is, what you'll find is with their art as they proceed in their art career is it becomes to look a bit stiff and a bit boring. I mean, even the fantastic paintings and lifelike portraits can be a bit boring, in my opinion. As impressive as they are, the skill involved. Oh, sorry, you just knocked the camera. The skill involved is quite something. However, it's a little bit boring, and if you want a cartoon and add energy and life to your work, then we start like this with stick men. Forget everything about anatomy. This is not about drawing skills right now. This is just a week or so about getting your instinctive pen marks on the page, and obviously if we can still figure out what it actually is, then even better. So what I got streaming here in the corner, as I'm not out and about or in front of my TV, so I can't draw from life, is I've just got my Channel 4 Thingy Bob app running. So I'm just going to draw from this. I don't want you to draw from pictures. Pictures are a bit lifeless and a bit still. We need to draw from life, moving images. We're just going to be looking at something for 2 seconds, like this guy here, and getting it on the paper with what our brain saw. Okay, So the first thing I want to do though is just teach you how I do my stickman, because it's a good fundamental stickman. I mean, you could do whatever you want. We all see that as kind of a stickman. However, if we add in a bit of a rib cage, some hips and some joints, what we start to get is a more I can't say the word, an anatomy correct you know what I'm trying to say it, but I can't say it, image of a person. So this is the stickman that I do. Now the important things here are just some little tips. The elbow joints will be roughly just below your rib cage. Your pelvic section will be wider than your top section, unless you're doing a big manly muscly bloke, in which case you can, you know, push it as far as you want. For this example, we're not going down that road. This is just how I do it personally. I find it easy, and our joints are going to come off there, and we're just going to connect up. And let me just do it again so you can see. Hands, just really quick and simple, and we can put this in many positions. So that's why it's good. It's good for this practice. So that's just how I do my stickman. It's a good base model as well. If you wanted to sort of turn the opacity down and sketch straight over, it's a good base model. So let's clear that off. Or actually, what I'll do is I'll just shrink it down and throw it over there a sec. So I'm just looking at what I'm seeing. Someone in the boat there, some woman. She's got her arm reached out there. Her other arm sort of on the edge of the boat. Can't really see her hips. Woman in the boat. Okay, now she's in a different position. She's got her knees right up there, and she's doing something with her hand, and she's still in the boat. See, so even though it's just a few scribbly lines, it's kind of, we can see what it is, and that's the whole idea about this. You know, any old profile, the side view, whatever. You see this guy sat over on this side of the boat. He got his engine for his speedboat, and then it's the rest of the speedboat. Just caught that then. Now he's fishing. Yeah, let's just get pictures on the paper. There's a woman there, and it looks to me like she is taking a selfie, or taking a photograph even. Obviously there's a table there with a cup of coffee, and there's some guy sat with her. Yeah, just getting it on the page. That's all we're doing. Not a lot going on in this scene now, is there? But this is my challenge to you, and this is just an example. I want you to do 2 pages. I mean, that's 1 page there done. 2 pages every single day for the next 7 days. You'll find towards the end and the 7th day you're sort of knocking these up, no problem at all. You could probably even just create people in positions out of your own imagination. You know, you could draw someone kicking a football or whatever. But do this though for the first 5 days at least, and get used to the different random positions that life can throw at you. There's some guy there. Just looks like he's having a little chat there. There's a pregnant woman. sketch it all out on the page as you see fit. Some guys come to chat to the woman. And he's got his hands on her belly. So she's... Some guy stood there talking. Just get it on the thing. Don't even worry about your drawing skills for the time being. Just get whatever your brain is seeing on position. It's really programming your brain deep down on a subconscious level. It's programming your brain to see in a different way, and that is going to stay with you forever, ever. It's something you're going to lose, and then when you do go on to learn the anatomy and stuff, you've still got this energy inside you, which is going to really help. One tip I will say, if you want to, is when we are doing guys, so say that's a guy, we can do a bigger rib cage and a smaller waist. And when we're doing ladies, we can do smaller rib cage and a larger pelvis, so slightly different. When you're joining these up as well, go to the insides of the circle. Yeah, go to the inside of the circle. It'll give you more of a foundation for a natural leg shape. Women's arms are going to be closer to their body, as their top shoulder parts are not as wide, not as broad. It's a little thing. Again, now when you're doing people, I'm just going to show you quickly, just while I'm here. What's this? Alright, so this is more of a detailed version of my stick man. We got the rib area, we got the pelvis, and we got all the joints. I don't know if you want to screenshot that and then just trace it out, and that's a good reference to go back to. But we can see everything I just spoke about here in action. The human body is supposedly 8 heads high for an adult male, but you can do it 2 heads high if you want, as long as your proportions are in the correct places. So don't worry too much about that. Here's my rugby one, where I was just sketching as I was watching the rugby, people in various positions, just sketch as you go. Another thing I want to just quickly tell you about is, I'm not going to be able to open that screen back up because no, is center of gravity. So if you're doing someone off the top of your head leaning over, like so, their center of gravity is always here. Just imagine it's the belly button. That's their center of gravity. So if they're leaning over, you can't sort of do legs like this, because unless they're doing the Michael Jackson super dance, it don't work. So just remember to keep your balance. There's our center of gravity right here. So we need to counteract that, don't we? So we'll just pop a leg there, and now we know it looks more human and more natural, and our guy is balanced and he looks human. So just keep it in your mind, in the back of your mind, at the center of gravity. We've got some people dancing on here now. That would have been a good one to do. I said that the elbow joint sort of comes just below the rib cage. So what you could do is, if you just imagine it there, and just bring your eye around, to roughly where it should be. See? And your proportions are roughly in the right place. Centre of gravity. But as it's a moving form, obviously people will be off balance a lot of the time. So it's just something food for thought, really. But yeah, that's my challenge to you anyway, guys, is to do a week of pages doing really loose gestures. You haven't got to do stickman. You could just do any old gesture. If you're more experienced, you may find just doing a normal gesture drawing more fun for you. But this is not really about how it looks. It's just about getting your instinctive fingers and brain onto that paper, and then to sit back and look at it. And can you tell what it was? Can you work out what it was? And then, we'll catch up in 7 days. And we shall then start to fill these bodies out a bit. Look more at the anatomy side of things. I can't believe I attempted to say anatomy. I still can't say it, so I'm going to just give up and move on fast. But that is that. I just want to point out one quickie, and that is, if you want to join my Facebook group, then it's called Procreate, Learn and Share. And in there, we are sharing our challenge. We're all beginners. We're all starting right at the start with Stickman. And we're all going to share our progress as we go. And in 4 or 5 weeks, you're going to be shocked how confident you are. And you're going to put away the tracing. And you're going to think, no, I can draw somebody kicking a football. You're going to know how to do it. And it's going to be a game changer for you, and a big foundation building block for the rest of your art journey. I put a quote up the other day. Art takes a lot of practice, but talent is not a requirement. So people just say, oh, you're so talented, you're so talented. I'm not talented. I've just spent a long time drawing and practicing, basically, whereas you haven't, and that's why my art may look a bit more advanced than yours. It's nothing to do with talent. I've drawn for many years. So yeah, anybody can draw. That's a fact. Anybody. Even some of the best, most expensive paintings in the world, were done. I mean, one guy had one eye and really bad shakes, but when he puts his brain onto that paper, it just says something different to what other artists say. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that's the end of this little week 1 challenge. I hope you get involved, and I can't wait to see your gestures and your sketches. Enjoy.